international recovery efforts continue in Japan. Nearly a month after the March 11th earthquake and tsunami, the confirmed number of fatalities in the nation is over 12,300 and rising, with more than 15,000 still unaccounted for, with 45,780 demolished buildings indicating communities that no longer exist. The lives of entire families have been lost, and experts say the actual death toll could reach 100,000. As of Monday, April the 4th, more than 166,000 people remained in shelters.
At the troubled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, the race to gain control on the situation was getting more desperate as irradiated water continued to be discovered both inside and outside the plant, with levels so high inside that workers could not conduct crucial repairs needed to halt the catastrophic radiation leaks and shut the facility down. However, on Wednesday, officials announced that they had been successful in stopping the leak of highly contaminated water into the Pacific Ocean. Prior to that, operator Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, reported that seawater samples collected near the No. 2 reactor contained up to 7.5 million times the legal limit of radioactive iodine, with radioactive cesium at 1.1 million times the legal limit. The cesium is of even greater concern because it can remain in the environment for centuries.
On Monday, radioactive iodine, significantly above legal limits, was detected in landfish caught off Ibaraki Prefecture. As fishermen voluntarily halted shipments, Japan's health ministry announced plans to publish criteria for banning radiation-affected food products. On Tuesday, in response to parents' concerns for the safety of their children returning to school, the Fukushima Prefectural government began an emergency radiation check of some 1,400 school playgrounds in the region outside the 20-kilometer evacuation zone.
TEPCO on Monday began dumping 11,500 tons of contaminated water, 100 times more radioactive than legal limits, into the Pacific Ocean. Officials said the emergency measure is needed to create storage space for even more highly toxic water in an effort to allow workers safely back into the plant. Japan has also asked Russia to send the suzerain, one of the world's largest liquid radioactive waste treatment plants, to help end the nuclear crisis. Although Japan's Atomic Energy Agency says that disposal into the seawater will not pose a major health risk, its impact on marine environments remain uncertain. With atmospheric radiation that has already been detected across South Korea, despite prevailing winds that would normally blow the contamination elsewhere, the neighbouring nation's government has expressed concern as to how radiation standards will be established, along with how the effects will be stemmed. Jacqueline Cabasso, Executive Director of the US-based Western States Legal Foundation, also warned. The US Department of Energy has testified that there is no level of radiation that is so low that it is without health risks.
With protests against the use of nuclear energy occurring in places like Germany, where hundreds of thousands are calling for an end to this unstable source of energy, more people across the world are raising the concern that if all nuclear power plants face similar troubles and dumped into sea like this, our environment would face very grave troubles. TEPCO has meanwhile been receiving 40,000 public complaints daily, and on Sunday, around 300 protesters held an anti-nuclear demonstration at the utilities headquarters in Tokyo.
We thank the concerned Japanese personnel and citizens, as well as all international help, for your diligent assistance in the relief and nuclear situations. May heaven bless the affected residents in their recovery, as we pray that such calamities are minimised through our wiser and more benevolent stewardship of the planet.